Wang Chang cheetah burrito. Wang Chang. Okay, so we're for sure live now. We don't have any viewers, but just so you know, we are live. Oh, we have one viewer. So we want to be mindful. Hello, anybody and everybody. Hi, Smashville. Hi, Wait What? Bob is opening. Hi, Carrie Bishop. Hi, Teresa. He's reading the instructions. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. I'm so excited, you guys. The kitty cats are getting excited as well. I know, wait, what? A new kitty tree. Hi, Cherokee girl. Mr. Bob, get billed. Oh, my goodness. So what we've decided, you guys, or what I've decided, because he said, you know, where do you want it, is, well, he's unpacking there. Say hi to everybody, honey.
Hi, everybody, honey.
Is it's going to go over here. At first, and y'all, I'm not going to turn the camera where you can see me because I am still in my robe and pajamas. I did brush my teeth and rebraid my hair. But the back of Mr. Bob's hair, the boss, looks like he combed it with a weed whacker. He had on a toboggan today. He worked till 1 o'clock out. Hi, Aurora. Oh my goodness, there's a bunch of pieces, y'all. Look at this. I love it. Hi, Sarah Silva. Is there anything you need me to do, honey? And y'all, we may not stay on here. Hi, Kimberly Myers. We may not stay on here for the entire putting together of the cat tree or cat tower, as I've been calling it. I am still unsure who sent it, but it is a Cat Daddy approved. And of course, Cat Daddy is Jackson Galaxy. I sub to him. I watch him. Actually, we used to watch. Yes, Kimberly Myers, we do. We have. Yeah, usually Cherokee girl. Usually Bob doesn't look at instructions. That's why I'm pointing out that he is. Let's see. Your chat disappeared like it always does. Kimberly, yes. And I'm unsure I'm not sure who sent it because it came straight from Chewy. I was actually in the day room. I think I was vacuuming because the Ninja Kittens have been inside for like a week. Oh my goodness. And yes, Cherokee, they will have a blast with the box. So the last package we got came from Smashville. And Smashville, was it you? I think it was you. Was it you? Chat's disappeared. So, anyway, at first, it was Smashville. Oh, honey, you have been so generous. Y'all, it was Smashville that sent all that cat food and the cat snacks and the scratch pad that you can see beside the door frame over there where Trey Amigos, who is creeping around behind the boss, well, he didn't start it, but he scratches there. So today the boss brought me a white wood putty. So I'm going to putty that over, hope that they'll transfer over to the scratching pad. But I feel like we're going to need something, I don't know, some sort of a cover over the door. But Smashville has been just incredibly generous. And we appreciate it so much. Smashville, we truly do. Honey, it looks like, first of all, if it's Cat Daddy approved Smashville, of course you know that it's going to be of nice quality. But I can tell you just sitting here, looking at the pieces. I mean, the box was so heavy when I discovered it on the front porch that I couldn't like turn it over or bring it in. And but what I keep beginning to say, but I don't finish, is why I decided to put it here. And the way I described it to the boss is this. My initial reaction when I realized that it was a cat tree, like a mama who has several children and you have a new baby, my very first thought was, oh, the kittens are going to love this, the Ninja Kittens. But then I realized, after some thought, that because that door there has to be closed, and the one all the way back, you can't really see it, but it's beyond that brightly green colored cabinet, and then you can see the furnace. There's a door there. Those are the two doors to the two rooms where the Ninja Kittens stay during inclement weather. Okay. And it's been really cold here, like below freezing. The other cats who live in the house all of the time are accustomed to having full reign of the house. And so after some thought, baby, if you would, close your knife because Wang Chang's, oh, thank you. That I'm going to put it in here for the kitties who are accustomed to having full run of the house, but don't have full run of the house while the Ninja Kittens are inside. So while Bob's putting the posts on, and here's, is this Julie Newmar? Julie Newmar, you are on your first live stream on Furry Feline Monsters of Mass Destruction. And Smashville has sent a wonderful, wonderful thing, and you're going to love it. Oops. Ruh-roh, George. Like, it's going to sniff that. I know, Teresa, they're happy already. Smashville, you volunteer for a rescue here. Hang on just a second. Let me get back to your, not you, baby. I'm talking to the chat. I'm chatting with chat while Bob is working. If I can get the chat back. Let's see. Smashville says, I am a volunteer for a rescue here, and I know what rescues go through. We love to help rescues out. So, faded again. So this makes you happy. Well, honey, it sure made me happy too. And I can promise you that these kitties are going to be happy. And Smashville, your choice of color, the neutral color is perfect also. I mean, it would have blended well in any room. Oh, thank you for pointing it out, boss. This is something Wang Chang does.
His tail.
He'll start fighting with it here, and if he may keep it up. And y'all, I'm sorry for the mess there on the sofa. It's Saturday. But Smashville, about the color, it would have been great in any room that we have. But because of the earth tones here in the living room, it's going to be great. But decor-wise, get it, Wang Chang. Get that tail. Get that tail. Get it. Get it. Don't let that tail defeat you. Get that tail. He finally caught it, but instead of fighting with it, oh my goodness. Yes, Smashville, it's perfect. I mean, gray would have been nice as well. I mean, I'd have been a happy camper if it was neon green. But I'm totally delighted because I'm a bit decor driven. Get it, Wang Chang. Oh goodness. Did you get it? Did you catch it? You know, another thing that's turning out nice, the little tripod that Bob bought for me several weeks ago. I'm able to mount the phone on it, just snap it in very quickly. And it enables me to hold the camera. I can frame it better, and there's not quite as much movement. Hi, Bama Fan 1. Now, Wang Chang is FIV positive. FIV is like HIV, only it's feline, obviously. And when he was first rescued, he was a teeny little guy. I mean, teeny tiny. And he also had, was it ringworm, baby?
Yes.
He had ringworm. So in order to, I think it was for 10 days, I'm not sure, but for 10 days, he had to have a special shampoo, a medicated shampoo, applied to, I believe it was 2 of his paws and the end of his tail. And it had to stay on for, I think it was 15 minutes, and it had to be done twice a day. So he was so tiny that I would wrap him in a dry washcloth, warmed in the microwave for just a few seconds. And that's where the burrito part of his name comes from. The Wang Chang, it's not so obvious now, but when he was very small, his eyes were very almond shaped, and it reminded the boss uh, of Asian type eyes. And so he called him Wang Chang one day. And the cheetah is because, for the most part, you can't tell by the way he's sitting because he looks like he's all striped like a tabby. But when he stands up, you can see that actually the majority of his markings are spots. So, cheetah. Plus, he's really fast. Now, the thing is he is about, I think he's 3, almost 4 now. I'd have to pull out his medical records to get his approximate date of birth. But I think he's about 3. But he is one of the from one of the litters from the abandoned pregnant mama cat here in our neighborhood. A number of years ago, we were never able to catch her. She passed away in late May or early June of 2022. No, 2021, I beg your pardon. From unknown causes. But she was a wonderful mama cat, and she had culled Baby Dumpling out from the rest of her litter. We didn't have to catch him. Wang Chang. Thank you for correcting me, honey. There are a number of, look, y'all. There's Julie Newmar. There's Trey Amigos. Dastardly Doolittle. On the floor, there's Deuce McKenzie. And I just mistakenly called Wang Chang Cheetah Burrito Baby Dumpling. And the boss reminded me. So he was behind the barn, right?
Yes.
And crying and crying and crying. And we knew that she had had a litter. And is he the one you came walking across the backyard holding him? And I said, what have you got? Because I had just weaned Dastardly Doolittle.
Yeah.
What I mean by weaning is, and I'll tell Dastardly Doolittle's, hi, Miss Delta lady. I'll tell Dastardly Doolittle's full story on another time. But what I mean by weaning is bottle feeding. I mean, like the day before, I'm not kidding. And thought, oh boy, no more, getting up every 4 hours, every 5 hours, every 6 hours. And I looked out the windows of the laundry room, which faced the backyard, or look out onto the backyard. And the boss was walking from the barn over to, you need a screwdriver, baby? Over towards the house. And in his hands, he was holding something. I thought it was a baby rabbit at first, to be honest with y'all. Well, it turns out it was this guy right here. And I said to the boss, what have you got? And he says, well, he was back behind the barn. And of course, I'm shortening this story. I'm not going to do I said, he said, she said, all of that. But to condense the story. After some talk, Bob said, well, put it back, because we didn't know if it was male or female at the time. He was too small. the boss had put him back where he was because Mama Cat, baby Mama Cat, knows where he is because she put him there. So, he's like, just put him back out there. And Bob was out working around the barn, so, and, so I waited till dark was as long as I could take it. And right at dusk, I went out and he was still right where we had put him. So he came in and then began his journey of being bottle fed for days on end and nights on end. And yeah, but you can see he's a cool cat. He's a real cool cat. So y'all, we've been on here for 20 minutes. And like I said, this is quite impromptu. I knew that I would have to wait for Bob to come home in order to do what he's doing here for us and the kitties. He's pretty good. As you can see, he doesn't waste a lot of time. Bob has a real good sense of how things go together and action-reaction type things. Plus, he's got every tool known to man. But I bet, like other cat toys, this one came with its own Allen wrench, didn't it, sweetheart?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, Cherokee girl, he's doing a great job. Because, another thing, and we haven't addressed it here on this channel, but we have certainly addressed it on our other channel, Lip Lock No More, which is a very serious channel, but, and most of you know that. But Bob was also a stroke survivor. On May 15th of 2021, Bob had a pretty major stroke, followed pretty closely within hours by a minor stroke and a mild heart attack. So we had a very interesting journey together during the late spring and this summer of 2021. And he is walking, living, breathing proof that you can do it. You can do it. He took a lot of occupational therapy, speech therapy. Hi, kitty cat. He's a tough guy, and he's mine. He's my guy. I love him. So let's see. That must be Deuce McKenzie in there. And I got to get up off my knees, y'all. I've got, hang on. Oh. So, let me back up here just a little bit, get a little bit broader view of it coming together. I'm so excited to see how it's going to be all together. So we're at 23 minutes, babes, and I think we'll probably, we'll go at like 30 minutes. And when it's all finished and put in its place, I will do a short pre-recorded upload and show you how it ends. Of course, I will do a little decor rearranging. I think I can just take that one picture down. Bob and I, one of the many things that we have and had in common the very day we met was Vincent van Gogh is our favorite artist, individually and mutually. So, kind of filling up some time here. Doesn't have anything to do with cats, but we have a lot of prints of I don't know if you can see it down there with the glare, but that's the church, the chair. Oh, look, y'all. Let me back up a little. It's coming together. I don't know. We may make it all the way through it being complete. I don't know. Roses. Oh, you guys can see my reflection in the old antique mirror, which is like a funhouse mirror, and I look terrible as it is. Look, look. Hello. I'm in my robe, my mom's robe, and sunflowers. Now, this is sunflowers as well. Here's the cool thing about this one. Our second oldest granddaughter painted that one. When she's quite the artist, but when she was in high school, one of her art assignments was to copy a master. And because she knew that Papa, the boss, aka Bob, my hubby, her papa, she knew that he loved Van Gogh and that I do as well. She decided to copy his work. Of course, there are many, many versions of sunflowers, and hers is not a copy of that one. It's a copy of a different one. So anyway, yeah, trying to avoid showing you the dust. It's the same granddaughter that did the Frankenstein picture. Oh, you guys on this channel, well, I think all of you guys sub to my other channel. But when we did Halloween trivia on my other channel, and in the background, and I even talked about my granddaughter who did the newspaper thing with Frankenstein, same granddaughter. Anyway, there are other Van Gogh throughout the house, but we're in here for now. You know what? As close as he is, we may make it to the end, and by the end, what I mean is the tower being completed and still being live. And here's one reason it might be a good idea. Y'all know that it is mine and Bob's intention for this channel to be monetized. We want to monetize it so that we can have memberships. I may even end up having a Cash App. And all of the proceeds will be dedicated strictly to the benefit of cat and kitten rescue. And we will do as we've done here, like I did with the opening of the other packages. You know, it's like, here's a receipt kind of a thing. You know, we'll actually show you what we're doing for the cats because of you guys. And in order to become monetized, most of you know this, I'm sure, you have to have X number of watch hours. So, you know, there's right now on the counter, there are 15 of you here. I'm sorry, I can't see your chat right now. The free advertisement for where Bob works. Honey, I hope you don't care that the whole world knows you work at FL Davis, says Home and Building Centers. He said, I don't care. Bob's the manager over windows and doors. But so anyway, I'm going to sit the camera down here on since Wang Chang has stopped chasing his tail, and go get my Dr. Pepper while Bob is still working on. Okay, so you guys are going to be like, hello, you can see my reflection in the TV. I'm going to go get my Dr. Pepper. I'll be right back. Kitties, it's so exciting, isn't it? And you know what else I can do, actually? We can look at Deuce and Willow live while I go ahead and take the irises off of the wall and put it in here in a safe spot for now. On the dining room table. And I can move the kitty cat beds. Hey, and now I can use these kitty cat beds for the ninja kittens. I'll bet. We'll see. But for right now, I'm going to put that over here. And move this one. Oops, there goes the sunflower. Good thing we have a really big kitchen, y'all. Because I just moved everything to the kitchen. And fortunately, I just vacuumed this corner yesterday afternoon. So I don't have to pull out the vacuum cleaner right now. So, put the big sunflower back over here in the corner. There we go. I know you guys, it's so exciting. I'm excited. Nothing like a nice shot of Dr. Pepper in the afternoon. Okay. It's getting taller. Is that as tall as it is? I hope.
Yes.
Yes, he says. Oh, I know. Deuce got to dump a cat out. Okay, so this goes. Y'all, this is so cool. I'm so happy. Smashville, if you are still here, I just honestly cannot thank you enough. I truly cannot thank you enough. As you can see, the cats are, as cats often are, way interested in the box. Now, the thing is, in case any of you have noticed and have any concern about this right here, okay, this electrical outlet is, well, I don't have anything here I can plug to show you, but, and I'm not going to stick, whoops, watch out. I'm not going to stick my finger in it. Hey, there's Dastardly Doolittle. But you have to plug something in just the tiniest bit, and it has to turn a quarter of a turn before the electricity is exposed. I don't know if you can see, but there's no, sorry about the paint, but there's no, see, it's not open to make contact. So there's no worries about Yeah, Teresa, isn't that cool? It's the only plug we have. Sorry about it going out of focus. It's the only plug we have like that, and it was here when we got the house. I've never seen one that way. But you literally have to turn it a full quarter turn before anything will plug into it. So, and other plugs in the house either have something sitting in front of them, or if there is an open plug, it has the clear plastic child safety, like the little cap thing, the placebo that you plug in that's plastic, just, So they never mess with them anyway, but you never know. There's a first time for everything. So this is so cool. I just love it. We're having fewer and fewer pieces. Sometimes a person can put a thing together and, you end up and it's like, where does this go? Wish I could get it where you guys didn't have that backlit like that. Be unpleasant to the eyes. I don't know. It's the perfect height. It's the perfect size. I can tell already that it's just going. This is like the perfect spot for it. And this is deep enough, actually, honey. How this wall right here, the green wall right here. What is that, about
30 inches.
About 30 inches? So that means it doesn't have to be smack dab up against the wall either, like that shelf. It can sit out from the wall and kind of, that way they can go like all the way around it. So I've never done this type of a live, you guys. I'm used to talking about something completely different. So, but it would be great if everybody would, if you would remember to tap that like, would really help us out. And if you're subbed, thank you so much. If you're subbed and you haven't, it would be great if you'd go ahead and tap the all notifications bell. And if you haven't subbed, please consider doing that. We're grassroots kind of folks. We live in north central Arkansas on Greers Ferry Lake in Heber Springs. And I'll just go ahead and chat a little bit here. Again, y'all, I can't see your chat right now, but anyone who's not aware and is considering subbing, we became cat rescuers quite inadvertently. When we acquired this bungalow in, it'll be 9 years in April, or 10 years in April. There were some folks in a rental house behind us. They moved away, leaving behind a pregnant female. They came by our house one day, like the day after their final moving of the last of their stuff, and pulled up and said to me if we would feed her and make sure she had water and food, they would be back in a couple, quote, a couple of days and pick her up, unquote. They never came back. We were never able to capture her in order to have her spayed. So she had, what, honey, a litter a year? About twice a year. She would have a litter with anywhere from 3 to 5.
Oh, shit.
We well, every cat that you guys see indoor and out except for Willow Wisp. I'm pretty sure she's the only one that did not come from baby mama. But we ended up taking care of her for the next 8 years as best we could. By that I mean making sure she had food and fresh water and a place to go into the barn when the weather was bad and whatnot. But she was the type that she would have her kittens out at the barn, but then when we would start not really moving them, but trying to provide something better for them, she would move them. Then eventually, one by one, we would catch them as she was weaning them. She would bring them to our front porch, to the feeding station, her feeding station. And that enabled us to befriend the majority of them to the point that we could get them spayed or neutered, of course, depending on their gender. And for one reason or another, some never went back outside after they got spayed or neutered, you know, like Wang Chang being FIV positive. Willow Wisp, the only one that, well, we know which house she came from, but we don't know her origin. And, yeah, well, I know, honey. Bob rescued her from, I don't want to say the word on this channel, but people that were using an illegal substance is where this little tiny tyke came from. And she's an absolute thug, an absolute terrorist, aren't you? But because she was tiny and I was unsure if she had been through any trauma because of the situation she came out of, I just felt like I wanted her to stay inside. I'll tell you Doolittle's story another time. I think we're almost finished here. You guys are so sweet, hanging out for almost 45 minutes now. Thank you so much, because this will really, hi Izzy Rose, I can see your chat again. This will really, what's going on? Oops. Somebody's chasing somebody. But it really truly does help build up the watch hours that you kids are sticking here with us. And that's awesome, Cherokee Girl. $25 for spay and neuter. We have used the trap neuter, some people say release, some people say return program for community cats here. But once we've decided, and for the most part we do, that it's our cat, or they've decided actually that we are their people, well, I don't use the TNR grant under those circumstances. I feel like those vouchers should be available to those who truly need them. So we only have used them like, I think 2, maybe 3 times over the course of 22 years. Well, I know, well, we've been rescuing for 22 years overall. Well, actually, individually, longer than that, because Bob and I have been together for a bit over 22 years. So as a couple, we have been rescuing that long. However, um, looking back on it and thinking about it, we have each individually in our lives. It's another thing I think that made us fall in love with each other. Bob had a cat named Champagne Charlie that was a rescue. And I had a cat named Boogie Woogie that a friend of mine, because I was single and footloose and fancy free at the time, a friend of mine felt like I needed to have a cat in my life again because I had chosen at that time to not have a cat in my life. I was a traveling on the road musician, but somehow it all worked out. So Champagne Charlie and Boogie Woogie became partners, and then, well, the first rescue, and then the next, and then the next, and then we moved here, and here you go. So, oh, is it like a rope they can climb on? Smashville, if you are still here, this is so awesome. I mean, this thing has everything. What more could any cat want? I'm just saying. What more could they possibly want? Platform. Let's see, honey. How tall is that? 6 feet?
Yeah, about 6 foot.
Because you're right at 6 foot, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so, and he's a little taller. So it's a little less than 6 feet platform. And then the nice little, shelter that Deuce McKenzie was enjoying so much with platform, nice little front porch. And then another platform with rope hanging down. And bottom platform. Now what? There's even more things, y'all. I don't want to stay. I don't want to. I mean, I realize you guys can tune out at any moment. I get Smashville, I'm so pleased. All right. I said 30 minutes. Now we're at 47 minutes. This is so cool that he's getting this done for me. Bob is like this though. He comes in, you got a box on the porch. I'm like, yeah, I know. I tell him the story of how I know the box is there. And he's like, well, where do you want it? I'm like, well, I got to think about it. And I said, when you decide to put it together for me, I'm either going to go live. We'll either go live on Furry Feline Monsters of Mass Destruction, or I'm going to record it and then upload it. And I thought, well, why not just go live? I mean, it's Saturday afternoon. Maybe there'll be a few folks that just for funsies would, just want to hang out, help us get some watch hours, and, so it's working out good. So, we'll go for an hour. Honey, everybody that's in the chat room are actually my regular viewers from Live Block No More. That's nice. In our comment section, we've been getting, actually, we've had a number of new subscribers, and I didn't realize that YouTube does this. It must be new, or they do it for new channels. I don't know. But when we get a new subscriber, I get a notification. And many of them seem to be from other lands, like not the United States. And I say that just based on their username, or like some of them have little channels too. And if you go to their channel, then they have like everything is the cat channels that they subscribe to. So I guess there's like this quite the world out there on YouTube for cats. I mean, we watch funny cat videos. I knew that there were loads of, honey, what's that one that we love so much that's the animated on like whiteboard?
Simon's cat.
Simon's Cat. Y'all, I think I've shared a link to it on this channel before on the community tab, but I need to share some more. If you haven't seen Simon's Cat, and as I was mentioning earlier, we watched Jackson Galaxy when he was on television, like over a decade ago, and fell in love with his style and his personality, you know, being a cat whisperer then. We found it entertaining and educational.
It's called My Cat from Hell.
My Cat from Hell, yes, was the name of the show. Aurora, is there a Crazy Cat Ladies community? Cherokee, you love animal videos? I think we do too. You know, we do. We like them if they're funny. We like them if they're educational.
And the dodo.
What, baby?
The dodo.
The dodo. Oh, yes.
The rescue animal.
If you guys haven't heard of or watched oh my goodness. I wondered where, I thought, is that an extra post, like a replacement post? No, indeed.
Try to have a platform like this.
Oh, so it's going to, well, it's a good thing there's no fan in the corner. Don't get your hands smacked by the fan. Bob watches a whole lot more cat videos than I do, and he studies videos on how to make a better catio, you know, for outdoor habitat. What are you doing? Whoop, take off around the corner. Hope that swirl didn't make any of you go, oh no, yeah. So yeah, I'm just leaned up against the door jamb here at the, going into the kitchen area, which is a mess. Today is leftover day. Either that or, you know, I'll talk Bob into our favorite Casa Mexicana.
Chinese.
It's a Chinese Mexican restaurant run by the most delightful Asian lady and man. And they cook some really outstanding Mexican food as well. It's a really interesting. And they don't take credit cards. They take checks. But it's like, you know, we live in a small town. And, you know, they're a little family-owned place. They've been there like forever. The building is like 1,000,000 years old. Okay, that may be a slight exaggeration. But you know, they're like, I don't know.
Actually attaches to the restaurant.
Their house, what attaches to
Their
the
house.
their house is attached to the restaurant. Yeah. They have their own herb garden out in the back, out behind, and to the side, actually, of the restaurant where they grow their own fresh herbs. And they're just delightful people. So, and another thing is they're only, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, they're 5 blocks away, right? They're close enough. We could easily walk there if we wanted to. So that's nice. But we just call them up and she always knows it's me, you know, that kind of place. And I think they always maybe pour a little bit of extra into our carton. I'm not on mute. I'm just falling quiet, not knowing exactly. We're almost there, y'all. You be careful.
I gotta see what I'm doing.
You got to see what he's doing. Bob, very lightly, well, I say very lightly. I don't live in his body. I shouldn't say very lightly. Day before yesterday evening, came home from work with what my mom would call a hitch in his get along. In other words, he had strained his lower back. Of course, he's a stubborn feller, so he goes on to work anyway. After a nice Epsom salts, soak, and so doing all of this, I'm hoping isn't. Of course, sometimes depending on what the problem is, sometimes if you got a little hitch in your get along, the best thing to do is move around. Honey, is that Deuce McKenzie or Julie Newmar? Turn around, let me see. Yeah, that's Deuce McKenzie. He's like, hurry up, get it together, Dad. I know, Kimberly, hasn't he? Honey, Kimberly is saying Bob's done a fabulous job. I know. Bob is really, he can do electrical wiring, he can do plumbing. His educational background, his career and professional background is a service technician on forklifts, like certified, that kind of thing. But after a feller does that sort of work for years on end, it can kindly get to your elbows and your knees. And working as a warehouse manager, he still gets out on the yard and all of that. It's not like he sits in his office at his desk all day long. It's not like that. But a decision was made that, hey, maybe it's time to do something different. So, and he's been there for years now. Bob is like 62 and he's had like 4 jobs in his whole life. Here and there he would have a little side job just for fun, but he's one of those guys, when he goes to work for you, he's going to work for, he's going to be there every day. Tell you what, after his strokes, getting him, well, it was 5 weeks before the doctor let him even try to go back to work. I drove him to work for several weeks and picked him up. And then after a while, they finally released him to where he could drive himself. I was about as screaming Mimi out of my gourd for quite some time when that happened. But in the 22 years, y'all, that Bob and I have been together, other than when he had the strokes, up until then, in all those years, he had only missed 2 days of work. And I forced him to stay home both times. One time he had pulled his back so bad he could hardly get out of the bed. And I said, no, you're not going to work. I called his boss and I said, he ain't coming to work. His back is hurt. The other time he had the flu. And I don't mean a cold and I don't mean a little bug or a little stomach bug. I mean the flu. And I could only force him to stay home for 1 day. Dosed him up and he just slept and slept. But that's just the kind of guy he is. So, he literally can do, he used to say, years ago, put a wrench in my hand, I can do anything. Put a hammer in my hand and get out of the way because somebody's going to get hurt. But after all these years of working at Ace, he has learned a lot of things from fellers like contractors and stuff who come in there to buy product from him and his coworkers and whatnot. Honey, is it all together?
Yes, it is.
All right, folks, look at that. 59 minutes and 51 seconds, actually a little less than an hour. And Bob has completed, honey, We might as well, huh?
I don't have any place for this one little ball.
Oh, we're missing a place for a ball. Well, maybe it's a replacement ball. So, hi, Shorty Small. So let's go ahead. And I know, Miss Delta Lady, don't hit the fan and don't hurt your back. I would help you, but I'm the camera person. It's easier to manage out of the box. Uh-oh. Don't you dent my... He very lightly tapped. Okay, we'll go. There'll probably be a little maneuvering here and there, like, a little repositioning. But ladies and any gentleman who may be in the audience, and in particular Smashville, and thank you, Carrie, for coming over and modding. I need to assign a few more mods over here. When the live chat uploads, we will do that. But there we go. Thank you, Smashville. And hopefully we will soon get some footage for you guys of the kitties on it. Oh, well, maybe we'll just put a kitty on it and see what happens. All right. Honey, give me a kiss. Mwah. All right. Tell everybody. Well, hang on. We'll keep at it till we'll see what happens here. All right. Darling, tell everybody goodbye and thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Folks, thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Please sub if you haven't, or at least please consider doing so. And so that's going to be bye-bye for now from the Brewer household and the new Kitty Cat Tower. We'll see you guys the next time. We love you. Bye-bye. Thank you again for being here.